Hallo, ich bin Sang, ich komme aus Vietnam und ihr seht Deutsch für euch.
Today's episode is sponsored by Lingoda. Lingoda, for those of you who are new here, is a language learning resource. They work with actual teachers that via video chat, so Skype and other things, give both one-on-one and group lessons according to CFR standards. Classes are individualized to your wants and needs. They can be faster or slower depending on what you feel comfortable with. They are very flexible in their time schedule, and once you finish your next CFR level, you can actually get a certificate with them. They've once again given me a discount code for you to use, so if you go over there and sign up for a class, you can use this to pay less. Thanks, Lingoda. Let's go. One of my favorite YouTubers, Boy in a Band, made a video with iDubbbz a few months back in which they declared mucus the new term akin to how the internet likes to use the word cancer. You know, declaring someone or something the worst thing in the world because it slightly annoys you. That kind of thing.
How about calling someone mucus?
Your mucus.
That one's great. Yeah, I have to go visit my mother-in-law. It's mucus.
It's weird enough to catch on. It's just like a funny thing to say.
Yeah.
To Germans, this really doesn't feel like that much of a new idea. Because one of our words for mucus, and yes, there is more than one, is already being used in a very similar manner. The word that it all comes down to is Rotz. Der Rotz. And it literally means snot. It's a lot of fun to say, actually. It lets you practice the dry German r, and also you get that s sound, and with the o in between, it's one of the most ugly sound combinations you can get. Rotz. 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 See, that was the wrong kind of R. Don't Rammstein it. But it kind of sounds like what it is, doesn't it? Rotz. So by itself, it isn't really insulting or even rude. It's just low register and carries a derogatory connotation. Bäh, du hast Rotz an der Nase. Now with that in mind, it's no wonder that the verb rotzen isn't one of the nicest ones German has to offer. Rotzen can of course mean to, blow mucus out of your nose, but it can also colloquially be used to refer to spitting. Again, this is with a disparaging tone, more so even than when, referring to actual mucus. It is often used, for example, when somebody just spits on the street. Wäh, da hat jemand hingerotzt. That just sounds a lot more aggressive than saying, da hat jemand hingespuckt, because spucken just means to spit. Accordingly, jemanden anrotzen can of course mean to spit on somebody or to blow mucus on somebody, which please don't do either of those, that's both rude and disgusting. But it can also mean to yell or to snap at somebody. Mann, ich bin müde. Ja, okay, aber du musst mich ja nicht gleich so anrotzen. In this vein, when somebody just keeps on anrotzen you, after a while might start just calling them rotzig in general. Now you can be rotzig in a single utterance or on a single day or within an hour because you're in a really bad mood, but it can also just be your general attitude. Basically, this is a word that adults like to use when talking about teenagers whose attitude they don't like. Boah, geht mir total auf die Nerven. Der ist immer so rotzig. Speaking of that cliche, those adults might also like to use the word rotzfrech, which means snotty or literally snot cheeky or snot impertinent, something like that. As insolent as snot. Just accept it. You don't really have a good word for frech in English that really encapsulates its specific meaning, but it's somewhere in that, impudent, insolent, cheeky area of meaning. But then, of course, rotzfrech just means that you're especially frech and you're not charmingly cheeky. Cheeky doesn't really fit in that context. So when you're rotzfrech, you're really getting on somebody's nerves. With an extra dash of snottiness. Some particularly annoyed parents might also call their kid a Rotzlöffel, a snot spoon. Now that's a nice image. It's really not a nice thing to say to your kids, but it exists. Komm her und räum das auf, du Rotzlöffel. The same goes for Rotznase, by the way, which means snot nose, and that one connects to snotty nosed, so it's that whole brat meaning area. Rotznase, however, also just means a snotty nose, literally. And finally, there is two very evocative and important exclamations, namely, was ein Rotz and so ein Rotz. These are one of many ways to say that's bullshit in German. Literally, of course, they would not translate to that's bullshit, but to what mucus in the case of was ein Rotz, and such mucus in the case of so ein Rotz. But, you know, that kind of sounds weirdly Shakespearean to me, so I think that's bullshit is the closest actual equivalent you'll get in English. You can both use it to call bullshit on something, so to say, nah, that's definitely not how that happened. Or to say, I hate this, I hate that this is a thing. Sie hat mir erzählt, dass sie genug Geld hat, um nie wieder arbeiten zu müssen. Was ein Rotz, als ob das möglich wäre. Ich muss nachsitzen, so ein Rotz. And that's it for today. Your not so random word of the week is das Nasenspray. Be sure to make the sh sound, not s, not spray, but spray. Nasenspray. Thank you to all of my lovely patrons you are seeing on this screen right now. If you want to support DFA financially, you can head on over to Patreon. It's linked in the description. And you can get several rewards, charts, and grammar scripts, and audio files, and stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, go there. Also, you can be part of this wonderful list. And that's the best part, isn't it? Alright, and I think with that, we're done. I don't know what that accent was, but it was fun. So I'll leave it in. Bis dann. Tschüss.